Xenos is an underground doctor who has made it his mission to heal as many people as possible. However, the more he helps, the more he attracts the attention of unwanted individuals. One morning, Lily wakes up and, while she's at it, wakes up Xenos. Great name, by the way. The little girl starts her daily routine and prepares some tea so Xenos can have breakfast. In this world, third-rank healers can mend wounds, second-rank healers restore the entire body, and first-rank healers, well, they usually end up as the protagonists of their own anime. The Kingdom of Herdsent is famous for its healers, recognized worldwide. Thanks to them, the nation has prospered and boasts an elite hospital where medicine is taught, and new healers are trained in the most advanced magical techniques. Medical licenses are also issued there before graduates set out to practice elsewhere. But this story isn't about a licensed doctor. In fact, this guy doesn't even have formal training. Xenos heals using rather unconventional methods, including homemade remedies of questionable origin. He treats patients at home and occasionally makes house calls. That day, he has one scheduled and won't be back until the evening. Lily wishes him luck and promises to have dinner ready when he returns. While she's cooking, a mysterious waifu named Carmilla suddenly appears, literally flying down, to check if the food is ready. Seeing that Lily is still preparing the stew, she acknowledges the girl's skill in the kitchen. Proudly, Lily says she cooks because she wants to be Xenos' wife someday. Carmilla, smirking, replies, "Oh wow, I was this close to asking," before heading to her room to wait for dinner. Just then, another beautiful young woman enters the house, looking for Xenos. Lily recognizes her as Zofia and tells her that he hasn't returned from his house call. Zofia decides to wait for Xenos and takes a seat in the living room. She didn't come because of a stomachache, she just wanted to spend time with him, and she wasn't the only one with that idea. Soon after, her rival arrives, a furry waifu named Linga. Seeing that someone else already got the waiting spot, she decides to stay as well. As if that weren't enough, the door suddenly swings open with a loud bang as Lowy storms in, full of energy and with no patience whatsoever. Without even flinching, Lily tells her to fix the door and take a seat with the other desperate ones. Then, she finishes her stew, adding the final touch, a little leaf from her special stash. Noticing the situation, she asks if they plan on staying for dinner, and since no one turns down free food, they all say yes. So, Lily entrusts them with watching the stew while she goes to pick up the clean laundry. But the temptation is too strong. First, they take a small taste of the stew, then another bite, and before they know it, the pot is empty. Realizing their mistake, they scramble to cook another batch before Lily returns, but she comes back too soon. With a disturbingly calm yet subtly threatening tone, Lily demands an explanation. The girls try to play dumb, but it doesn't work. They end up confessing that the smell was too tempting and they couldn't resist. Seeing Lily looking disappointed, they start shifting the blame onto each other. Lowe admits that it was so good she almost ate the pot itself. The others warn her that doing so would have given her a terrible stomachache, but Lowe shrugs it off, saying that would have just been another excuse to see Xenos. The conversation takes a turn when Linga casually mentions that she'd love for Xenos to brush her tail. This sparks another argument, with the girls accusing each other of being jealous and possessive. The fight drags on so much that, honestly, it's not even worth describing. Lily firmly tells them that if they keep fighting, Xenos will be upset, and that she genuinely wanted everyone to have dinner together. Feeling guilty, the girls apologize and promise to help cook again. However, Lily informs them that she only had enough ingredients for one stew, and now there's nothing left. At that very moment, Carmilla bursts in, visibly pissed off after hearing that the stew she had been looking forward to was completely gone. Terrified, the girls desperately beg for forgiveness. Carmilla is clearly not someone to mess with. Lily tasks them with gathering the necessary ingredients, and without hesitation, they dash off in search of them. Before they leave, Lily confesses to Carmilla that they also ran out of spices, the secret ingredient for the stew. Carmilla tells her she should have tricked them so they wouldn't eat it, but Lily insists it's not that big of a deal, and honestly, I have no idea where this plot is going either. Carmilla remarks that if they had dared to touch her food or her alcohol, she would have cursed them for life, but Lily insists that she likes seeing them all together like one big family, though she's worried they won't finish dinner in time for Xenos' return. Meanwhile, Xenos is on his way home when he comes across a beastkin girl who looks unwell. Suddenly, a man appears and confronts her, demanding to know where she's been. She tries to explain that she was feeling sick and went to the hospital, but without money or insurance, they sent her away. The man, completely lacking compassion, tells her she should have given a 2-week notice before getting sick. Without giving her a choice, he drags her off. Their destination turns out to be a cemetery, where he tosses her onto a grave. As the tombstone cracks, a dark mist rises and seeps into the girl's body. As if that weren't enough, the man kicks her and orders her to find something valuable to sell. However, he quickly changes his mind and simply walks away, leaving her behind. But the situation takes an unexpected turn. Possessed by the malevolent spirit, the Beastkin girl turns against her oppressor, though, to be fair, she didn't need to be possessed to want to make him pay. Panicked, the man flees and runs straight into Xenos. Desperate, he begs for help, but Xenos, having no context, instinctively feels disgust toward him. When Xenos asks what he was doing, the man lies, claiming they were harvesting vegetables. Then, he tries to convince Xenos to take him to the hospital and deal with the girl. Still under the spirit's influence, the Beastkin hurls stones at Xenos, who dodges them effortlessly. Seeing the healer's skill, the man orders him to eliminate her, but Xenos refuses. He doesn't hurt people. Frustrated, the man attempts to bribe him with money, arguing that his life is worth more than a mere servant's. But Xenos, standing firm on his principles, replies that his job is to save lives, not destroy them. The man demands to know what Xenos even is, to which Xenos proudly responds, "I'm a healer." The Beastkin hurls a massive rock at him, but Xenos channels his energy and shatters it with a single strike, proving he's not an ordinary healer. The girl lunges at him, but Xenos effortlessly dodges each attack with impressive agility. Noticing that she's moving faster than normal, he deploys an invisible shield that sends her flying. In the process, she crashes into a tower, which collapses right on top of the despicable man. Xenos approaches the Beastkin girl, who, severely wounded, weakly murmurs that she can't go on. The malevolent spirit resurfaces, but this time, Xenos understands what's happening. Using his magic, he not only heals her injuries, but also extracts the dark entity from her body and completely eradicates it. Miraculously alive after the collapse, the man witnesses the feat and realizes that Xenos truly is a healer. Seizing the opportunity, he begs Xenos to heal him, but Xenos, utterly uninterested, simply states that his work for the day is done. The man insists, claiming he won't survive until morning. Xenos agrees, but under one condition: he'll have to pay extra. The man tosses him a pouch of gold coins, but Xenos examines it and coolly remarks that it doesn't even cover basic medical expenses. Outraged, the man protests, saying he's paying far more than usual and that a healer shouldn't exploit people like this. But Xenos reminds him that he's an underground healer. Rules don't apply to him. Besides, Xenos points out that he already figured out the man's true occupation, a grave robber. The man tries to deny it, but Xenos simply states that no one goes to a cemetery to harvest vegetables. So, Xenos makes him an offer. He'll complete the payment by handing over the Beastkin girl's contract. After all, the man can easily get another servant. The man accepts. Xenos heals him, and in exchange, he walks away with the girl's contract. When she wakes up, she finds herself with Xenos and notices that her stomach still hurts. He informs her that she now works for him and asks for her name. She replies, "Till." Without wasting time, Xenos tells her to take off her blouse so he can examine her, using the excuse of checking her health. Till, unsure of how to react, obeys. Xenos quickly discovers that she had a gallstone blocking her system. Without using any visible magic, not even a healing circle, he removes the stone and leaves her completely cured. Amazed, Till thanks him, but Xenos tells her she still has a debt to pay and will have to work it off. On their way home, Till leads him to a bush containing the exact spice Lily needed for her stew. Seeing it, Xenos thanks her and informs her that with this, her debt is repaid, granting her freedom. Overjoyed, Till promises to return someday with new stories to tell. Finally, Xenos arrives home, where Lily greets him with a cup of tea as she waits for dinner to be ready. They toss a golden coin at Xenos. He asks what that's about, and they reply that it's a gold coin, adding that they're not surprised a pan scraper like him doesn't know what it is. The dumb-looking guy is named Aston, and he's the leader of the group. Xenos asks him to explain, and Aston says he doesn't do anything anymore, that he's not contributing to the team, so they're kicking him out. Heartbroken, Xenos tells him he thought they were friends. Aston laughs in his face and calls him an idiot, saying he only used him because he was weak. Now that they're stronger and more well-known, they don't need him anymore. Xenos tries to say they only made it this far thanks to him, but Aston tells him not to flatter himself and says that now that they're dealing with rich clients, they can't be seen with a poor guy like him. The coin is his farewell gift and a bribe so he won't go around telling people he was once part of Golden Phoenix. Xenos silently accepts and leaves, while Aston and the others laugh like villains. Elsewhere, a guy grabs Lily, and his partner says elf girls are weird and they can't let her escape. Lily resists and manages to break free, but as she runs, The guy shoots her in the leg with an arrow. She can't run anymore, and the guy catches up to her. Lily fights back with everything she's got, and during the struggle, he stabs her. Just then, Xenos happens to be passing by and hears the commotion. He goes to check and hears the girl scolding the guy for damaging the merchandise. Xenos sees Lily on the ground, bleeding, and asks what's going on. They say she's theirs, and they can do whatever they want with her. Xenos tosses them the gold coin and tells them to sell her to him. They agree, since she's no use to them anymore, and leave. Xenos picks her up, and Lily says she sees a white light at the end, that her grandma is waiting on the other side. Xenos tells her to stop talking nonsense, that he already healed her. Lily realizes it's true. She's totally fine, not even a scar. She thanks him and introduces herself, but says she has no idea how to repay him for what he spent. Xenos tells her not to worry about it. He didn't even want the coin anyway. Xenos asks where she lives, and Lily says she doesn't have a home. Then her stomach growls. So Xenos decides to get her some decent clothes and something to eat. They go to an inn, and Lily stuffs herself with food. She asks if he's not going to order anything, and Xenos replies that he's not hungry, though the truth is, he can't afford it. He wonders if he should take her to an orphanage, but he knows she wouldn't have a good time there. Lily asks what he does for a living, and Xenos says he's currently unemployed and looking for a way to make some money. Just then, a lizard man with an injured arm shows up. Xenos checks the wound and says it's an easy fix, so he does a quick patch-up spell, and boom, good as new. The lizard man thanks him, tosses him some coins, and leaves. That's when Xenos has a light bulb moment, charging people to heal them. No way, genius move, my guy. Plus, he liked that Lily thanked him for helping her. No one had ever thanked him before, so he decides to set up his own clinic. But since he's from a poor neighborhood, he can't afford studies, a license, or any permits. So he's going to open an underground clinic. Lily loves the idea and offers to help him out, but Xenos isn't sure it's a good idea to get a little kid involved. Lily declares she's his loyal servant now. After all, he bought her. Xenos clarifies that he only did it to save her, but Lily snaps back, saying he can't just rescue her and then toss her aside like she's a burden. Xenos tells her to keep her voice down. She's making him look bad in front of people, but Lily keeps going, so he gives in and agrees to let her stay until he finds her a proper home, maybe a little farm with grass where she can run free. Xenos takes her to an abandoned area that looks like a rundown neighborhood. They're looking for a hideout where the law won't find them, just like in the slums. There, they find an old mansion that's actually in decent shape despite being abandoned. Lily doesn't want to go in because places like that are where specters show up, and specters are the toughest undead there are. Xenos tells her not to be a chicken, and they go inside. It's all dark, so Lily uses magic to create a little glowing orb to light the way. Xenos is surprised and asks if she knows magic. She says just the basics: glowing balls, guessing cards, stealing wallets without getting caught, that kind of talent. Xenos checks the place and says it's perfect, especially since he used to sleep on the damn sidewalk like a downtown hobo. Suddenly, a freaking spirit appears and attacks them with everything it's got. Xenos fights back using his healing magic to repel it. Looks like he's got plenty of practice dealing with specters. Back when Aston got pissed, he used to throw Xenos into the dungeon to fight them, said it helped him chill out. Weird way to relax, but that's how Xenos learned that healing magic is super effective against ghosts. Xenos says the house is nice and perfect to set up their clinic, so he proposes to Lily that they become roommates and live the chill life. The spirit thinks he's mocking her and attacks again, but Xenos is more than ready and blocks everything she throws at him. She can't believe a mere human is standing up to her. Her, the queen of specters, Carmilla. So she calls in a bunch of other specters to back her up. But Xenos casts a totally busted spell and wipes out all the specters in one go. Carmilla is shocked at the humiliation and demands to know who the hell he is. He just says he's an underground healer and repeats that they need the place. Just a living room and a bedroom will do. Carmilla gives up and lets them have the whole first floor. Xenos thanks her for being chill, and just like that, they've got their spot to open the clinic. Days go by, and they start fixing up the place. Since they don't have any clients yet, all they can do is pimp out the clinic as best they can. Lily suggests he should make use of her nurse uniform and go advertise the clinic. After all, no one knows there's a doctor inside. Xenos thinks it's risky. If the hospital finds out, they'll shut him down. He tells her patients will show up on their own and asks her to have faith. Right then, the door opens, and someone asks for the doctor. It's the same lizard man from before, just who Xenos was expecting. Judging by his wound, It was clear he didn't want to go to the hospital and needed someone a bit more flexible with the law. His name is Zonde, but we'll just call him Lagartijo. Lagartijo comes in with his sister, who also took a bullet to the arm, but hers looks way worse. Xenos takes one look and immediately tells it's poisoned, and since the bullet wasn't removed, the arm's already rotting. She's shocked he can tell so much just by looking. Xenos says he almost became a lab rat once, but that's a story for another day, with revenge included. Point is, she's got necrosis. That arm's done for and has to go. She stays calm and asks how much. Xenos says it'll cost her $1 million. Sounds pricey, especially when you're losing a limb instead of gaining something. She asks if the price is because she's Zofia, the Cyclone, leader of the iguanas. Xenos didn't know who she was, but now he realizes she's kind of a big deal. She's like a Robin Hood type, robs the bad guys and helps the poor. Xenos explains he's not just gonna cut it off, he'll give her a replacement, and he doesn't work for free anymore. Zofia tells him not even licensed doctors do that. Xenos is surprised. Since he never went to school, he doesn't know what his limits are. Deep, man. He then pulls out his magic scalpel. It's like a regular one, but with magic. He can make it appear and disappear at will. He cuts off her arm, casts a spell, and makes her grow a new one. Everyone's blown away, especially Lagartijo, who notices Carmilla watching from the ceiling, waiting for someone to die so she can snack on the leftovers. Xenos says she's his roommate, and it's cool. She doesn't bite. Zofia likes the doc and promises to send her people to him for treatment. One day, Lily serves them tea to relax. Xenos notices she even prepared a cup for Carmilla. Since Zofia showed up, they've had more clients, but no one has kicked the bucket, so Carmilla's kind of on a forced fast. Lily asks why the iguanoids are always injured. Xenos says they're at war with 3 other demi-human factions. Suddenly, they hear a loud noise. Lily asks what that was. Xenos tells her they're probably about to meet another demi-human. A pack of dogs bursts through the door, and in walks Linga, the tyrant, queen of the lycanthropes and boss of the underworld. Xenos says they're closed, but if it's an emergency, he can help. It'll just cost extra. Linga says she's fed up. No matter how many lizards she beats down, they keep coming back, and she's heard of the underground healer. Xenos says he's nothing special, but Linga has already decided she's going to kill him. She attacks with her axe, but Xenos throws up a magic shield that not only blocks the blow, it shatters the axe. He tells Lily to hide, cause things are about to get ugly. Linga, surprised, sicks her whole pack on him. They swarm him like he's a steak, but nothing happens. So she tells them to destroy the clinic instead, that they can do. In the middle of the chaos, Carmilla shows up, furious that they're wrecking her house, ready to drag someone to the afterlife, but Xenos stops her. He reminds her that the first floor is hers, and if she's gonna go on a rampage, she can do it upstairs. Also, the clinic is for saving lives, so that means she can't snack on anyone who walks in with a need. Linga stops confused, but Xenos is way ahead, telling her, next time, if you want to get my attention, leave a message. This place doesn't take walk-ins. Linga gives a final growl and leaves with her pack, but she won't forget. Xenos isn't surprised when the orcs come looking for him. He's already dealt with the other 2 faction leaders, so it was only a matter of time. What does catch him off guard is that the orcs look more like pigs with legs than actual orcs. What an ugly design. He asks the messenger if their boss is someone he can reason with. The guy, Porky, says, yeah, their lady is super chill. Well, it's not like Zofia or Linga were angels either, and now one brings him gifts every day, and the other's building a castle next door to apologize for breaking his stuff. Xenos asks why the boss didn't come herself, and Porky says the area's crawling with enemies. Xenos is skeptical, but when he asks if it's really that bad, Porky confirms that their leader can't even move. So, Xenos decides to go see for himself. They take him to a cave where Loewe, the queen of the orcs with a piglet face, is waiting. Xenos asks how she heard about him, considering he always tells his patients to keep quiet. Loewe says he's already a legend in the slums, even though everyone keeps saying, don't tell anyone. Loewe tells him she can't get up from her throne and asks if he knows why. Xenos steps closer and uses his magic to check for hidden wounds or internal issues, a move only he knows how to pull off. He discovers a mana stone lodged in her stomach. She explains it's a powerful explosive spell. If she moves, boom. Xenos asks if someone slipped it into her food. Loewe says no, It just looked tasty, and she got curious. Xenos can't believe it and tells her that was a dumb move. Lowaway says she bit down until she hit the chewy center, and now she could explode at any moment. She doesn't want to hurt anyone, but her soldiers refuse to leave her side, so she offers Xenos her entire fortune in exchange for saving her. She'd rather have her treasure in good hands than let the lizards or dogs loot it after she dies. She knows Xenos charges a lot, but also that he never takes a coin from kids. That's enough for her to trust him, and she gives him the key to her treasure. Xenos grabs his scalpel and makes a precise cut across her belly. The orc soldiers think he's attacking and rush in, but before they can move, he's already removed the stone. Lowe, stunned, doesn't understand how he did it. Xenos says it was simple: open, remove, close. But she reminds him the stone's still active and could go off. Xenos holds it with both hands and lets it explode, and he's completely fine. He used his magic to shield and regenerate himself at the same time, so he's fresh as a daisy. He gives the treasure key back and says he'll charge a fair price. Nothing crazy. Lowe thanks him deeply and says she owes him her life. She promises the orcs will protect him always. Xenos just asks if they could maybe not stand so close. As the days go by, the three faction bosses keep showing up for checkups, even though they're as healthy as horses. Xenos doesn't get it at all. But in stories like this, the main characters are either more innocent than a slice of plain toast or horny with a schedule. No in between. Carmilla suddenly shows up and drops the bomb. What they've got is love. According to her, all three are head over heels for Xenos. He laughs in disbelief, but Carmilla insists. Just wait. It's only a matter of time before they start fighting for his love. Lily gets a little depressed, thinking she's not on the same level as the others, but Carmilla encourages her, saying guys have all kinds of tastes, so she still has a shot. Xenos, for his part, finds the whole idea of them fighting over him more and more ridiculous, until, surprise, the next day, all three show up with gifts and announce they're declaring war. And of course, they ask him to choose a side. Xenos says no thanks. He's not getting involved, but the fight is already scheduled, high noon. Though it feels less like a war and more like a middle school brawl, even a traffic accident would draw more of a crowd. The abandoned coliseum where they gather looks more like a music video set than a battlefield, but they're totally hyped and start throwing out the usual cheesy lines like, "This settles everything," "You're finished," and "Don't make me laugh," straight out of a bad script. Xenos shows up from the stands and tells them he's not interfering. He knows their races have been at each other's throats for centuries, so if they want to go at it, so be it. And of course, with the doctor giving them the green light, they decide the winner gets Xenos. Just like that. No one bothers asking him if he agrees, because, you know, logic. The brawl begins. They go all out, and in the chaos, every NPC in sight gets wrecked too, dogs, lizards, and pigs included. After hours of trading blows, everyone's covered in dust, but no one has a single serious scratch. That's when they realize their injuries are healing instantly. Xenos, cool as ever, reminds them he's still their doctor, so even if they're fighting, he's keeping them patched up. It's basically a fake war, but hey, at least it works as a metaphor. Violence just brings more violence and never solves anything. Xenos tells them if they want to keep brawling, he's not gonna stop them, but he will charge them for every scratch like it's major surgery. The three laugh and realize the fight's pointless. They call a truce. Long live friendship, damn it. Now there's a new competition, winning Xenos' heart, though the big dummy doesn't even notice. Lily, gathering her courage, asks him why he bothered healing them, and he replies with something his mentor used to say: "A third-rate doctor heals wounds. A second-rate doctor heals bodies, and a first-rate doctor heals the world." What? Was his mentor Gandhi or something? Xenos clarifies his mentor was weird but wise. So yeah, basically Gandhi. And even though he considers himself a third-rate doctor, he wants to do what he can for the slums. And besides, if his regular patients kill each other off, there goes his business. Lily makes her move and confesses that she likes him. He tells her he likes her too. She's left with a seriously face and decides she'll explain it later, slowly, like he's 5. Now all that's left is to go collect payment and then head home. Meanwhile, on the north side of the city, where everything is bigger, cleaner, and whiter, the general summons his right hand, a dangerous waifu named Krishna, the vice general. She shows up and drops the classic. "So, what do you need me for now?" The general replies that strange rumors are coming from the suburbs. Apparently, the demi-humans aren't at each other's throats like before. Krishna's like, say what now? Because dogs, lizards, and pigs have hated each other since forever. That they're suddenly making peace sounds way too convenient. Suspiciously convenient. Wink wink. Plot device activated. The general says he doesn't care how it happened, but it can't go on. The kingdom has always prospered because the poor are too busy beating the crap out of each other. But if they ever decide to unite, they could take over the factories, redistribute the wealth, and basically turn the whole place into medieval Venezuela. Word on the street is there's someone acting as a mediator between the factions. Krishna laughs it off. Who the hell could possibly convince those three nutcases? What? Did some hunk show up and make them all go stupid? Nah, impossible, right? The general doesn't buy it either, but just in case, he sends her to investigate, and he makes it crystal clear. If she finds the guy, she's to stop him. Stop him. No falling in love, no sharing skincare routines with the other faction leaders. Meanwhile, Xenos is doing his usual thing, healing Zofia for the umpteenth time. She sneezes, and right on cue, in come Linga with her fluffy tail, Lowe bringing body heat from her muscles, or, well, her boobs. That works too. And poor Lily, who has none of that, so she heads off to make some tea. The only thing she can offer. Xenos tells them to stop overreacting. It was just a sneeze, and focuses on healing Zofia and her little brother, Lizard Lad. Lily returns with her trusty tea and comments that it's been a while since Zofia got hurt. Zofia replies it was for work. Remember, Zofia's a thief, but one of the ethical ones. She only steals from the rich. That said, the guards are onto her, and there was a bit of a misunderstanding. Xenos notices he's already treated those wounds before, so he asks what happened. They tell him about a nut job with a magic gun, a vice general known as Iron Rose. Tough name, right? Sounds like the lead singer of an alt-metal band. Iron Rose doesn't ask questions, doesn't negotiate. She just shoots. That's how intense she is. Carmilla jokes that Xenos is definitely her type, like he doesn't already have enough crazies orbiting him. Xenos says that would be way too forced, almost like the story is writing itself. But anyway, it's lunchtime, and the three leaders show up like they're on the menu. They even ask for takeout. Sweet Lily cooks them something delicious. After feasting like queens, Carmilla heads out, but not before reminding Xenos that he's the only reason the suburbs haven't exploded into chaos yet. Xenos just hopes things don't get any messier. Carmilla, though, knows exactly how this soap opera runs, and just as if the script demanded it, Krishna arrives in the suburbs and sees everyone getting along. She walks up to a random iguana and asks what's going on, why everyone's suddenly besties. The lizard says that after getting to know each other better, they realized they had a lot in common. Krishna asks what happened to the years of hatred. He's about to spill the tea, but then gives her a weird look, like, who even are you? And decides to play it cool. Krishna notices he knows something, so she pulls out her little gun and points it at him. You know the drill. Spill or eat lead. But the lizard, brave as ever, tells her not to bother. He's no snitch and he ain't afraid of death. Luckily, Zofia and Lizard Lad show up right then. Zofia yells out for help. Krishna panics and runs off, but not before noticing they both had wounds on their arms, and now they're perfectly fine. Suspicious. Very suspicious. She runs until she gets lost, and by pure luck, stumbles across a house. She knocks to ask for directions, and it turns out to be Xenos' clinic. Krishna walks in and asks for help getting her bearings. Xenos, ever the gentleman, agrees. Just then Lily shows up. Of course, with tea in hand, girl never shows up without it, and asks if they've got a new patient. Krishna realizes Lily's an elf, and without thinking, fires her gun at Xenos. But it's not a bullet. Oh no, she shoots a purple fart at him.